Third-party insurance cover. Third-party insurance cover offers you the basic protection in the unfortunate event of an accident. This is a legal requirement mandated by Chapter 405 of the Kenya Traffic Act. It covers damages, injury, or death caused to the third party. When your car is insured under a third-party cover, it means that if you get into an accident, the insurance company will only pay for damages to third-party property, such as buildings and cars, or injury to the third party, and not to yourself or your car. This cover does not protect the car owner from personal liabilities. Any repair costs are met by the insured himself. 1. Third-party fire and theft, TTF&T. This policy covers the insured against three main risks. 1. Third-party liability cover for bodily injury or property damage as a result of your vehicle being involved in an accident. 2. Accidental fire damage in the event your vehicle catches fire and is destroyed. Theft cover as a result of your vehicle being stolen. Below are categories of vehicles. 1. Private vehicles. 2. Commercial vehicles. 3. Motorcycles. 4. Agricultural vehicles. 5. Construction vehicles of graders and shovels. 6. Emergency response vehicles. Ambulances, fire tenders. 7. Tankers. 1. Private cars. This encompasses saloons, station wagons, estates, and large four-wheel drives, 4x4, intended solely for personal use. These policies safeguard against accidental loss, damage, and legal liability to third parties. Both corporate and individual vehicle owners benefit from coverage against accidental own damage, theft, fire, bodily injury, death to third parties, and property damage. 1. Commercial vehicles. These will range from small half-ton pickups to the large monster trucks on the roads. They will also include U-vans and company school buses, U. The key aspect here is that the vehicles must only be used for the insured business only, and will exclude all usage for hire or reward, for example, taxis, matatus, and any general carriage of goods for reward. The carriage of passengers is usually excluded in this class but can be bought back at a modest fee. This policy includes accidental loss, damage to insured vehicles, and/or injury, damage to third parties caused by insured vehicles. It extends to institutions using vehicles for business. Owners of heavy commercial vehicles gain peace of mind knowing they're covered against uncertainties. Benefits may comprise Neil theft excess, riot strike and civil commotion cover, coverage and repair facilitation across and within the Kamisa region. Under commercial vehicles, the following products are provided. They are normally categorized depending on their usage: motor commercial owned goods, general cartage tankers, motor commercial special types, agricultural and forestry, motor PSV private hire, chauffeur-driven, motor PSV taxis, chauffeur-driven, motor contingent liability, motor commercial institutional vehicles, motor commercial driving school vehicles, motor commercial own goods. This is a comprehensive cover that protects the vehicles used by your business for commercial purposes. This includes but is not limited to minibuses, trucks, tractors, and fleets of vehicles. Our policy has 3 levels of cover from which you can choose from: third-party only, third-party fire and theft, and comprehensive. A. General cartage. This insurance offers protection to the insured against third parties' death, bodily injury, and/or property damage, as well as loss/damage to your vehicle due to accidental fire, theft, or an accident. Vehicles under the general cartage category are vehicles used in the transportation of the goods of the insured and/or other parties. A. General cartage tankers. It provides comprehensive commercial vehicle insurance to individuals and businesses against accidental loss or damage for your tanker specifically used for the carriage of petroleum products, including legal liability to third parties. You can cover a fleet or an individual tanker. A. Motor advantage. This policy provides cover against accidental loss or damage to insured motor vehicles and/or death, bodily injury or loss or damage to property of third parties arising out of use of motor vehicles owned and/or operated by the insured for hire and reward, and the carriage of goods in connection with the insured's business. A. Motor commercial special types, agricultural and forestry. This is an insurance cover that protects the vehicles used for special purposes. This includes, but is not limited, agricultural and forestry vehicles, tractors, harvesters, etc. Our policy has 3 levels of cover from which you can choose from: third-party only, third-party fire and theft, and comprehensive. B. Motor, PSV private hire, chauffeur-driven. The cover is given for vehicles used for private hire which are chauffeur-driven. C. Motor PSV taxis, chauffeur-driven. This covers passenger service vehicle and offers protection against accidental damage, fire, theft. Third A. Motor contingent liability. A contingent liability policy helps to provide indemnity against the liability which may be incurred by the employer or firm from the negligent driving of the employee or the owner of the vehicle. This policy applies in instances where an insured is liable for a vehicle being used on their behalf, or even a vehicle which they may not own or have any direct control over, such as an employee using their vehicle on company business, or if they have to hire a vehicle with a driver party liability and passenger liability. The vehicle must be fully compliant with the PSV rules. A. Motor commercial institutional vehicles. Covers accidental loss or damage to insured motor vehicles and/or death, bodily injury, or loss or damage to property of third parties arising out of use of motor vehicles owned and/or operated by the insured. Covers institutions that use their vehicles for their business purposes. Motor commercial driving school vehicles. This is a comprehensive cover that protects the vehicles used by your driving school business for commercial purposes. This includes, but is not limited to, minibuses, trucks, tractors, and fleets of vehicles. Our policy has 3 levels of cover from which you can choose from: third-party only, third-party fire and theft, and comprehensive. Third-party, passenger legal liability. This covers passengers' death, disability, and medical funeral expenses in accidents, along with liability from passenger claims. Passenger liability insurance safeguards businesses when liable for passenger injuries/deaths in company vehicles. Coverage amount is flexible, influenced by factors like vehicle capacity and travel destinations. Notably, coverage limits often apply per occurrence, not per seat, necessitating higher limits for more passengers carried. It differs from public liability, which only applies when clients are outside the vehicle. 1. Motorcycles. Motorcycle insurance covers you and your motorcycle against loss, theft, physical damage, bodily damage, and liabilities that could arise from incidents in an accident, used for the insured business only. The comprehensive policy covers loss or damage to the cycle and its accessories and spare parts, whilst thereon resulting from I. Accidental collision or overturning. 2. Collision or overturning consequent upon mechanical breakdown or wear and tear. 3. Malicious act. 4. Fire, external explosion, self-ignition or lightning v. burglary, housebreaking or theft. Vic. Whilst in transit by inland waterway, lift or elevator. Boda insurance. This insurance only covers third-party risks. Use of the motorcycle is intended for private, social, and pleasure purposes, including the insured's business and use for hire and reward. This cover excludes racing and pace setting. It also covers death, accidental permanent and temporary disablement, and accidental medical expenses for the rider. What is not covered: A. Excess amount. B. Loss of income as a result of the loss or damage. C. Loss or damage when the motorcycle is driven by an unlicensed driver. D. War, political risk, and terrorism. E. Loss or damage to own goods. F. Loss or damage when rider is under the influence of drugs and/or alcohol. 1. Agricultural machinery. This policy indemnifies loss of gross profit due to business interruption from accidents under machinery insurance. It covers farm machines against fire, perils, breakdown, burglary, consequential loss, and more. Farm machinery is essential but expensive to repair, making this coverage vital. The 3 key farm vehicles are tractors, caterpillars, combine harvesters. Implements mounted on tractors include plows, planters, cultivators, sprayers, mowers. What's excluded from the cover: defects for which the supplier is responsible, loss due to willful acts of negligence, loss in income without an actual breakdown of the machinery, political and terror-related risks. 1. Construction vehicles. This covers accidental damage to insured machinery, except excluded causes. It applies to various machinery types used for material handling or construction. The coverage spans operation, rest, dismantling, cleaning, shifting, and re-erection after commissioning. Additionally, it extends to contractor liability for third-party injuries, death, or property damage due to negligence. 2. Emergency response vehicles. This is a cover that ensures fire trucks and ambulances are covered for physical damage. It could be as a result of fire, accidents in form of collision or overturning, and theft. 3. Tankers. It provides comprehensive commercial vehicle insurance to individual, businesses, and transporters against accidental loss or damage for your tanker specifically used for the carriage of petroleum products, including legal liability to third parties. You can cover a fleet or an individual tanker. Benefits. Accidental damage to the vehicle, including malicious damage, riot and strike theft, and fire damage. Legal liability to third parties. Example: PSV, third-party insurance. Firstly, there's third-party vehicle insurance, which safeguards against legal liabilities from third-party bodily injury and property damage. This coverage doesn't address your car's damages or theft, vandalism, or natural disasters. It also excludes damages from substance or alcohol abuse, or intentional accidents caused by you. Note that third-party insurance is a requirement for driving on Kenyan roads as per the Insurance, Motor Vehicles, Third-Party Risks Act, Chapter 405. PSV, Comprehensive Insurance. Comprehensive Motor Vehicle Insurance, often called Fully Comp Cover, offers financial protection for theft, vandalism, fire, and road accidents requiring repairs. This coverage is distinct from third-party insurance, providing extra benefits. It's crucial for attempted thefts or partial theft, for example, side mirror, lights, tires. Comprehensive insurance also covers accidental vehicle damage, typically up to a limit like cash $70,000 for windscreen damage. It includes passenger liability for lawsuit-related passenger claims. However, it doesn't cover family use or damage from thunder, flooding, earthquakes, or storms. PSV third-party fire and theft insurance. Lastly, third-party fire and theft insurance. It covers you financially when you cause damages to the third party. It also provides coverage where passengers get injured. Third-party fire and theft insurance are efficient because it's cost-effective. It provides you with coverage for specific risks. In addition, it has clarity and you can easily comprehend. Apart from its cost-effective plan, it offers you coverage from the most common risks, such as fire and theft. Thank you for watching Part 2 of Motor Vehicle Car Insurance. Watch out for Part 3.